Hello and welcome to the CIS Expo. Um, this is our app we created called NatureWalk by Kenneth Brown, Jared Miller, and Malcolm Whitehurst. So, from the start of civilization, um, we have been discovering and documenting the nature around us, right? As a community, we come together to agree on new species and plants. This led to the classification called the Kingdom Animalia. New species are being discovered every year. We believe everyone can be involved in this process. So this is why we create Nature App. Not only will we be able to document and essentially create a social map used to locate the habitats and areas around these animals, but you can also educate your fellow wildlife here on animals they've probably never seen before, or ones that are just new to them. So through this process, we had to conduct an app evaluation of NatureWalk. Um, we determined our category or what type of app we are, our market, what's our story, and the habits of the users on this app, and the project scope. We then had to formulate the required user stories and brainstorm about optional features to add on. After that, we formulated the layout, screen, and how to required to fulfill that specific user story at that time. We determined the navigation flow of the application through wireframing and um, navigation charts. We designed the wireframes to have visual aid to help us build out this design. Um, we then created the data schema, and so that was the data models for our users. So the users using the account and the post, so the pictures they actually post. Um, the list of network requests for each user story. So we did have to use API called parse and also location manager. So those had different types of network requests we had to fulfill. We wrote out the necessary code, like I was just saying, and then we built the app in Android Studio through multiple iterations and like a sprint method. Um, so at first we created a GitHub project and repository and assigned tasks to team members, and then in the second sprint, we actually started to set up the parse server and allow users to create accounts and log in and log out within our app. So that's like the first picture on the wireframe. That's our first sprint. Um, and then we allowed users to view a timeline about posts and animals, and then we had to implement the API location manager so that not only can they view this timeline about posts, but they're able to post an image of an animal with a description and a geotag of that. And then lastly, the sprint 5 was some UI updates. So materials and methods. Here's a visual of the post data model and the network request to create a post object within the app. So this is our data model for the post. So as you see, you have a user ID, which is a string, an author, which points to the user, an image, a caption created at, and a location for us. Here's also an example of one of the network requests we had to do. So this would create a new post within our timeline. And so we had to implement this inside of our project. And down below, under these two pictures, here is some early stages of the wireframes we drew out to understand what type of layout we were looking for when it came to fulfilling our user stories. And this led to this as a result. We have this beautiful login page and this timeline. And then also when we try to compose a picture, we're able to also get the longitude and the latitude. So in conclusion, Our project aims to answer some of the world's leading problems in nature, which is the endangerment of species of areas that humans live. We're striving to fill that void of documentation on endangered species in our area, as well as document abundant wildlife that lives among us. Through the app, we are not only able to track species visually, but we are able to also get the exact location of the animal to ensure we are able to record its habitat accurately. By having the geolocation where you find these animals, we can hopefully prevent the infringement of their natural spaces in the future. With more users, you are able to map out the local wildlife as well as educate others on what exactly they see in their everyday lives. This combination of education and freelance research allows those who are interested in to making an impact on the environment around them and potentially save and document endangered species we constantly try to save. Here is a list of technologies we use during the building process. So for our data models in our database, we used Back for App, and through Back for App, we had to implement parse. And we designed this app inside of Android Studio, and so that was our IDE. We also used version control to control our different sprints and manage that. So we use Git and GitHub as our collaboration tool. And lastly, the APIs I previously mentioned were Location Manager and Parse. I hope you enjoyed this presentation on NatureWalk.
You start with the NatureWalk app by logging in or creating an account. You're able to make a password as well. Once you're logged in, you get a welcome back. You're first presented with the home screen where you'll be able to see the post of the different types of animals on your NatureWalk. You're also able to compose where you actually take the picture and get the current location, which is a big part of our app to actually say where you found this flora or fauna. You add a description once you get the location, and be sure to add the location into the description so you're able to pinpoint exactly where you've seen this on your walk in nature or if you're just out in general. It's very cool. Also, you're allowed to take a picture as well once you're able to put in the description. We also want to make a way in later iterations of the application to add a Google Maps picture as well, so you can get a better understanding exactly where this was located, so we can actually build a database of accurate information on each animal, which is the exact point of the Nature Encyclopedia. You'll see here we're now going to go to taking a picture. You see here we're able to take a snapshot from the camera after requiring the user to confirm that they're able to use the camera in the app. You're also able to see the pictures displayed by the user in their profile. So you see here all the displayed pictures that you took. Here's an example photo of a spider seen near my home with a description on it. You obviously see it pop up in the home screen at the top, so you're able to have a timeline of posters and users. Thank you.